I think Power Monday. What's up, y'all? Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this the Daily Go Get 'Emism show. It's the daily. It's the Daily Go Get 'Emism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion to do this thing. Thinking all fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We are talking about being on the same frequency. Not on the same frequency. So basically, what we're talking about tonight is sexual compatibility and how important that is. But not just sexual compatibility. You know, if you've ever dealt with somebody, let's say you are a freak. You know, I mean, whatever you consider freaky to be, maybe you're explorative, maybe you're sexually free, whatever you think a freak is. And maybe you keep it on the low, like it only comes out around people who you're comfortable around. You know, you got to get settled in, you got to get right before you start letting it out. You don't want everybody to know that, you know, you some kind of hottie if you're a female. And even if you're a dude, you don't want to come off as being some type of creep. It's never a good thing when a dude comes off as being a creep. But you know how sometimes you may meet somebody who has some freak in them, but they may not match your freak. So there may be things that you are comfortable with, things that you would like to do, things that you would like to explore, things that are in your regular rotation and repertoire of physical pleasure, sexual pleasure. So it's probably a good idea to discuss these things before you get into a relationship with somebody or get into a sexual situation with somebody. But a lot of people don't talk to each other, don't really communicate with each other in fear that, you know, like if you're a female, she may fear that a man is going to look at her some kind of way, like she loose, you know, like she's some kind of hoe and all that kind of shit. And for a dude, he might not want to come off as being too aggressive or too creepy or like all he really wants her for is sex. Even if it's true, he might not want to come off that way. So you may get into this situation with somebody and neither one of you really know what each other likes because you haven't talked about it. Then again, you have some people who go right into it and they, you know, like maybe the first phone call or whatever, they already talking about it. Like, yeah, so what's your favorite position? I've known dudes who do it. There are a lot of men out there, as soon as they talk to a chick on the phone for the first time. So yeah, what's your favorite sexual position? Like they don't waste no time. Like she ain't even say. But hey, one thing is for sure. If she goes for that on the first conversation, then he already knows where he stands. If she balks on the first conversation, he kind of knows that, okay, maybe I should have took that route. But look, we still on the phone. We still talking to each other. So I can pivot. I can reroute. I can regroup. And maybe it was just a little too soon. Maybe I jumped a little too soon. I jumped a little too soon. I jumped a little too soon. I should have waited a little longer. But I got stronger. Yo, we was talking. Yeah. Yo. Y'all know what time it is. Yeah, let's get it in, baby. Yeah. Yo, hit the like button, y'all. Stop being stingy with the likes. We gonna have a good show tonight. You think we won't when we will? You think the son ain't got skills? Yo, we gonna have this talk. Come with me, let's have this walk. Everything is all good, baby. Let's get it understood. Maybe we can have a little fun. 752-9751. But I could be what you want me to be. Yo, come here, talk to me. Come talk to me like Joe to see. Yo, have it where you wanna be. Something just ain't right. Yeah, we couldn't do keep sweat the night. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what rhyme it is. Yo, pardon my candor, baby. Panda, baby. So that's what we're talking about tonight. That's what we are talking about tonight. What's good? What's good? Let me see. Who's it? Adrian Alexander. Say chicken and Hellcat's brother. Let's talk chicken and Hellcats. Chicken and Hellcats. Okay, all right. Game Enjoyer says, let me ask you a question, brother. Do you think that communism is the way to go? It's an interesting question. It's hell of a time to be asking it on this platform, but that's actually an interesting question. Communism works in some places. In the United States, we preach against it. We never, we preach that communism is never a good thing, and democracy is the way to go, and capitalism is the best thing ever. But that's an American ideal. Capitalism doesn't work for everybody. So, we can talk about it a little bit. Okay, SSJ SSJF Roku says, who auntie beads you got? Eat a dick. Eat a dick. These are not no female beads. These motherfuckers are big. Big. We go hard. We go hard on mine. Go hard on mine. Yeah, the sun always shine. I would like to welcome all of y'all. This is the channel. We stand tall. And we always ball. Yo, you see the number up there? Give me a call. Participate in the poll tonight. We about to be on the road. That's right. Everything is gonna be okay. We do this show every day and have been doing this shit for mad years. Yeah, no little trail of tears. Yo, I ain't drinking the beer, or even the Henny right here. But everything, I ain't gonna throw what you do, but you just know who you're talking to. My name is the SUN, yeah, and I'm a what? Yeah, Are y'all ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for this time tonight? Monday night. It's kind of like Tuesday, but we backdating. Don't stand in the chat, baby. Don't stand there hating, maybe. Yeah. Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. Let's get it to where we want to be. and let's make it how we want to see it. T Carry, right? Morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. How you feeling, ma? Thanks for coming on through like a drive-by. But nobody gets shot. All right. Not on the same frequency. Not on the same frequency. Frequency. So I don't know if y'all peep the play on words. I don't know if y'all peep the play on words when I say frequency. So it's like we're not on the same sexual compatibility when we see each other. Frequency. If you've ever been with somebody that just doesn't, okay, brothers, if you've ever been with a cold fish, cold fish, and I don't mean, okay, when I say a cold fish, I mean that somebody that really doesn't enjoy sex and really doesn't try to get into that, and they're not really interested in it or whatever. They might be the type of woman that you kind of have to talk into it all the time. And then, and really that can work on a man's ego. If he always has to be the one to initiate sex, not that, I mean, some dudes don't have a problem with it. And especially if you're the type of dude that does a lot of tricking, you probably won't have a problem with it at all. But if you're the type of man that, likes your woman to meet you halfway and really wants to please your woman, then you would think that if you're pleasing her, if you're doing right by her physically, sexually, passionately, then you would think that she would want to also, start tugging on you a little bit, maybe wake you up with a little head. I don't know, at least, put a hand in the situation. Like, hey, you up? The same frequency. You know what I mean? Nothing can be more demoralizing or awkward than when you try to introduce something to somebody that you do often and they look at you like, what the hell is that? And there's some things that you got to be careful about. There's some things that you have to be careful about trying to introduce too soon. Like, let's say if a dude likes anal. He likes anal, and a lot of women, listen, one thing about anal is that the women who like anal, they love that shit. They swear by it. And that's just what it is. They swear by that shit. Now you have women that could take it or leave it, but the ones that like it, they don't just like it, they love it. So, but if you deal with with a woman who doesn't like that, let me just start out by saying I don't like it at all. You know what I mean? Look, judge all you want. I don't like anal at all. I'm good, but I have been with women who do like it, and they kind of insist on that shit, like it's part of their repertoire. So I'm sure to them it was like, he don't want, he don't want to do the booty do. I'm like, I don't want to do the booty do. I want to do the booty do. But yeah, so if a man is dealing with a woman who, let's say the man really enjoys anal, like that's what he does. And maybe he's been with women where that's what they do or that's what they did. Now he's dealing with this new chick and he's trying to introduce, you know what I mean? He's trying to, get some backdoor action popping off, and she like, and she might even be looking at him funny. And God forbid God forbid the nigga that went to jail for a while, and she know about it. She like, what a coincidence. He like anal. He been to jail. He was locked up for like 10 years. Or it could be worse. it could be mad worse. Listen, for all y'all nasty ass fellas out there that's on the down low, I'm telling you, it's like there are plenty of men out there who think that it's okay for them, as long as they are exclusive with their woman, they think that everything they do is between them. And I guess it was all right between them. Everything was just between the two of them until they broke up. And then you realize, like, not only was y'all not on the same frequency, y'all obviously don't share the same level of secrecy. Listen, brothers, if you enjoy being pegged or plugged, she gonna tell on you, son. She gonna tell on you, son. Yo, you thought that it was a secret and she was your boo and you knew for sure that she would keep it. So, yo, she lying. And she was trying to make you feel comfy, but she's gonna tell all her friends, see? And you gonna be well known. So I hope you did it right, because the spot about to be blown. She said he likes his ass tone out the frame. It's off the chain. Yeah, she gonna tell on you, doggy. She gonna tell on you. Sarah Brutus, what's good? And my people's West. What up, West? What's good, y'all? Hold on, y'all. I gotta do a little something. I gotta take care of something. I gotta take care of something. You know what I mean? Allergies on tilt. And I don't wanna make no mistakes. So let me just hit this thing off real quick, so we make sure that we don't make no foul ups, bleeps, and blunders. All right, we should be good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. So, yeah, not on the same frequency. Not on the same frequency. That could be a problem. Now, look, I don't expect y'all to tell all y'all business tonight, but just know that if you've ever been in some compromising positions, literally and figuratively, hey, you ain't the only one. Nobody has invented the wheel of awkwardness or uncomfortability or none of that stuff. It happens, but a lot of this stuff could be avoided if you talk to each other. And a lot of times, you know, fellas, you know how it is. You get with a baddie. Maybe it's somebody that you've been wanting to get with for the longest time. Like, let's say it's a chick that work at your job. You've been like lusting. You finally got the balls to ask her out. She was with it. And, you know, y'all went out and all that kind of shit. You can't wait. You've been waiting. You've been waiting to see her in her, outside of her school clothes. You've been waiting to see her outside of her school clothes, baby. You know what I mean? You know, her dressed down attire. And she might have been exactly like what you thought. She may have had the potential that you thought she could have. So, you all excited, super excited. You finally going to get a chance to, put your ball on that roulette wheel. And hopefully you come up 7 black. I don't know. Anyway. So, you probably watching your step to make sure you don't scare her away. Because if it's a chick that work at your job, the implications that could pop up with this situation are serious, very, very serious. For example, let's say if the two of you don't work out very well, or you do something to offend her, something like that. Now at the job, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want people looking at you at the water cooler. You the subject of of discussion at the water cooler in the break room. Yeah, they talking about you in the break room, and this is not a good look. Terry Hawkins holding it down for the D. What's up, man? Holding it down for the D all day, every day, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, 12 months. Yeah, so it's good. It's good. It's always good to see you. Always good to see you, my people. A real go-getter right there. Thanks for coming through. So, yeah. So, like I said, all of this stuff could be avoided with just conversation. Now I put up a poll. I put the poll up, and I see we're getting a little bit of traction. We up to 16 votes. Not bad, not bad. It's funny. We got 16 votes and there's 16 people in here. All right, let's build on both. How long should time pass? I mean, how long time? I wrote that all wrong. I can't even edit it, but I guess y'all understand what I was trying to say. I was trying to say how much time should pass before sex can be discussed between people interested in each other. How much time should go by before you ask certain questions of a physical nature? Like, what do you like? You know, what turns you on? What are your fantasies? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what do you do? You know, what are the expectations? How long will it be before I get a little some? How long will it be before I get a little sticky and give you a hickey? You know what I mean? Bite you on your neck. How long will it be before I can get you Dracula style? You don't want to do it too soon. You scared. You scared the kitty away. You scared the kitty. You don't want to scare the kitty away. You know what I mean? All right, James Flooring, what up? He says, what's up, bro? I wanted to show some love and give the thumbs up. That's what's up, man. Appreciate you. And my people's Dave Figueroa. Senor Figueroa was good. And Wes said, I call it pizza game. Pizza game. Build on that. Let me know what you're talking about. And Wisdom says the civic power. True civic power. So democracy needs to be more than just voting a few years. Give people real say in local policy, public budgets, and accountability. Power to the people isn't a slogan. It's the fix. All right. I ain't mad at that. Yo, man, James Floyd, thanks for coming through, man. Appreciate you. You already know. But yeah, back to this poll. So let's see how it's going so far. All right. So how much time should pass before sex should be discussed between people who are interested in each other? Now, only 6% says ASAP, maybe on the first phone call. Okay. 6% says at least a few weeks of talking. Okay. 65%, which is the majority, says whenever they both feel comfortable. Now, how will you know when both of them feel comfortable? Because 9 times out of 10, a man is already feeling comfortable. He's comfortable right now. He was comfortable when he saw you. He was comfortable when he put your number in his phone. He was comfortable when he saw your weave hanging down. You're natural. Looking at, listen. You know what I mean? When he saw your little green eyes, brown eyes glistening, he was already ready to have that conversation. So he was comfortable. So I should have put that in there. I should have put when the woman feels comfortable, because women have a lot of power in that regard. And that's not to say that some women ain't a smoldering fire from the gate. There's some women who are aggressive and they like men who are aggressive. And sometimes women aren't aggressive, but they like men who are. Like, you ain't gotta coddle me, baby. You know, she like, listen, you don't have to be, like, back when you was teenagers, which one of y'all remember this? When you was acting too slow with a chick and she would take your hand and put it on her titty, like, you like that? And you was like, I like it a lot. She like, all right, nigga, I gave you the intro. Now spit that heat. Yo, Dave Figueroa says, yep, that's the best. Yo, that shit was, it was like, you was trying to chill. You know what I'm saying? This was before Netflix and chill. It was just chill. You was trying to chill. You like, damn. Should I put my arm around her? Try to kiss her. Yeah, that's it. Try to kiss her. Hope her mom don't come downstairs. She took your hand like, look. Grab this titty. She might have took both hands, like, look, put the other one around her, like, you know what I mean? This is grind time, baby. It's grind time. All right, Wes says, if I just want some for the night, offer pizza. I offer pizza. Okay. Okay, look, whatever works. Jay Floyd says, yes, sir. Have a good night, everybody. That's what's up. And Wisdom says, capitalism is for rich society. Well, yeah, that's true. All right, so yeah. So, you know, like knowing the exact time to make your move, it can be different from one woman to another. So you might get with a shy girl. Like when you was I don't know about everybody, because some people seem really, really confident in themselves and ready to go when they were teenagers. And when I was a teenager, I was I was always ready to go, but I wasn't aggressive. But if it was me and you and we was by ourselves, I knew what time it was. I wasn't going to act like I didn't know. We was not just going to watch TV. If you want to watch TV with me by yourself, I know what you want. I Heart Oakland, what's good? Thanks for coming through, my peoples. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you, mucho. How much is mucho? That's a whole lotto. You know what I mean? that's a large amount though. So Nova? Well, that's interesting. Is you have the exact same Nah, no Trump tonight. No Trump tonight, Chris. No Trump tonight. You know what I mean? And no Trump tonight. Man, fuck Trump. But I think it's interesting that I Heart Oakland and Nova have the exact same what would you call it? I don't know, picture on their profile or whatever. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah. So yeah, you know, knowing exactly when to make your move, knowing exactly when to do what you really want to do. It's not always easy, especially as a teenager. You know, you young, you think you know a lot, but you're really just learning. You know what I'm saying? You may pretend that you know more than you know, or whatever. It can be awkward. It can be just straight embarrassing sometimes, because you know you're not trying to let your insecurities show, but it shows. And when you were a teenager, you probably didn't know to ask questions. You probably didn't know not to act like you know everything already. You probably didn't know not to just feel around in the dark. Like you could turn the light on. In other words, when I say turn the light on, I mean you could actually let it be known, you know, or ask the questions that you want to know. Because when you do that, you open yourself up and you sort of show your vulnerability. Maybe not all the way, but you might show your vulnerability in a little bit, and that might actually make the person that you're with comfortable. But anyway, so we're talking about not on the same frequency. You know, how many of y'all actually talk to each other before y'all have sex? Like, how many times, or should I say, how many people already know what the expectations are before they actually have sex? Or do you always just keep your mouth shut, and when it happens, and y'all both starting from zero? Because it doesn't have to be that way. It is that way for a lot of people, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. We make it that way because, yeah, frankly, we, you know what they say, a closed mouth don't get fed. And here we are like, open your mouth, son. Open your mouth, because asking questions about what the expectations are and letting your intentions be known or whatever, it can build trust. At least later on, nobody can come back and act like they didn't know what they do know, or try to kick it like you blindsided them, or promise them something that you didn't promise. Dave says, when it happens, it happens. I can dig it. But that might not, as you get older, that might not be the best way to go. Now, I'm one to talk because I don't always be talking about, the element of surprise sometimes is a good look. Sometimes the element of surprise is a good look, but sometimes the element of surprise might cheat you out of an experience altogether. Because somebody may think that you were never interested in them, and you might have been super interested in them. So let me see. Nova says, and then it said I need to wait 14 days to change my name. Wait a minute. You saying that like you were saying something before. Oh, he says, yeah, let my cuz have my phone and he fucking changed my name. Oh shit. But your name was just I Heart Oakland. It was just I Heart Oakland. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, man. I don't know. Do your thing. Do your thing, son. Do your thing. It did. It says I Heart Oakland. It's still there. The message is gone, but it says I Heart Oakland, and then it switched to Nova. So I don't know. Would y'all fumbling with the phone now? Would y'all fumbling with the phone? Listen, do me a favor, y'all. Hit the like button. Share the show. Hit the like button. Let's just do this. Hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. Let's have this conversation. Not on the same frequency. Now we can be talking about. We could be talking about really. We could be talking about experiences that you may have had physically, sexually, or whatever, where it really could have been great. It really could have been great. It's like dealing with a chick that has a really good team, but she might need a new coach. She might need some coaching. The coaching is the problem. It's not the players on the team. The players on the team are pretty good, but they don't have no direction. Now, there are plenty of women who might describe a man as that way. Like he might be handling physically. He may have all the physical tools to get the job done, but he doesn't know anything about the job. Now, I've heard women say things like, well, I ain't got time to be teaching no man. He's supposed to know already. Did you always know already? My people's Gavin. What up, my dude? What's good? What up? Dave says, when going into uncharted territory, it's best to talk it out first, unless you know she is with it. If you get what I know exactly what you're saying. Listen, man, I'm a real big proponent. I support communication on all levels. And I wasn't always that way. I mean, I was always a talker, but I wasn't always a question asker. I wasn't always straightforward with exactly, what my intentions were, whatever. I kind of let the story develop on its own. And a lot of times that worked. A lot of times that worked. There were a lot of times when it didn't work. And I felt like, I should have just went for mine. You know what I mean? I had a ticket to go in. I should have rushed the door. Jeffrey Dong Dong says, how do I shave armpit hair? Okay, cool. Dave says, very carefully, Jeff. Yeah, not rocket science over there. Definitely not rocket science in that department. But yeah, being on the same frequency. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Anybody who has ever been with somebody who likes something that you didn't like, or you like something that they didn't like, or you knew something that they didn't know, and you were trying to introduce them to it, show them, like it could be a good idea, whatever. Like, I had a friend, my man, when I first started doing this show, way back. I had a man who he used to push this thing about toys in the bedroom. Like, he used to use them on the chicks. And everybody used to get on him about that. Like, what are you talking about? Like, yo, why don't you just use your dick? He was like, yeah, I use that. But guess what? If you use other things with your dick, and trust me, she's going to like that. And it's going to keep her interested, intrigued, surprised. It keep her on her toes. When she never knows exactly what's coming, but you know what I mean, she gets aroused or excited about the element of surprise or whatever. It could be a good look. So he was all about that sex toy shit. I was like, that wasn't my thing. But he obviously, he lived by that shit, and he obviously found women that adhered to what he was talking about. Like, that was a good look for them. So he found them on the same. He found women that was on his same frequency. Now I'm thinking like he probably got introduced to that by somebody else too, and I hope it was a woman. I hope it was. But he definitely wasn't. He wasn't soft. He wasn't no fruit. He definitely wasn't no fruit. Dave said, okay. He said, yep, save that for when things get boring. Okay. Well, see, and I remember cats used to be trying to clown him and all that kind of shit. He was like, shit, don't knock it till you try it. Like he lived by it. Like, I'm saying, my chicks come back and get me. I don't know what y'all working with, but I mean, they with all the smoke. Nova says, yeah, I remember when you used to not stream in this room. When was that? This has been my channel since like 2006. Some shit like that. Yeah, like 2005, 2006. Matter of fact, what does it say? When does it say that I started? It was at least 2006. At least 2006. Nova says, like it was a doorway. Like it was a doorway? Like it was a doorway. Hold on. Like it was a doorway. But yeah. Not on the same frequency. Couples have gotten married and they wasn't on the same frequency. So you marry your wife, and I know how these things can happen. It's easy, like doing crazy traditional shit. Like, we gonna wait until we get married in order to have sex, but no sex before marriage. We gonna do this thing biblically. Like, okay, all right. So you bought the car without test driving it. All right, cool. I hope that it seats you nice. I hope that it accelerates the way that you want it to. And I hope that the drive is exactly how you pictured it. Because you bought the car without test driving it. But I can't tell you what to do with your money. But yeah, couples who have sex, who get married before they have sex. All right. It pleased God, but you may never be sexually pleased in a relationship. And that's male or female. Like, it seemed like a good idea at the time, but that shit can go south quickly. That shit can go south with the. How do you feel about the son, the D, before marriage? Well, I don't get no D. I only give out D. I would never even get into a relationship before I have sex. Honestly, I have sex, then I get into a relationship. Like, you can call it putting the cart before the horse. I've never bought a car without test driving, and I test drive it for a minute too. Make sure, make sure that thing handles the way it's supposed to. Make sure the brakes are the way it's stopping the way I need it to, and that it speeds up and accelerates the way that I like it. I want to make sure that the seats go back real far like I like it. You know what I mean? Make sure I got plenty of leg room. Plenty of leg room. Like, yeah, this is good. This is good. Yeah. I would never in a million years, no matter what the circumstances were, wait until I got married in order before I had sex. I mean, personally, I don't want to diss, but I'll be goddamn. Like, I think it's stupid to do that. Because, okay, you can always say that sex isn't everything, and it's not. But it's important in a relationship. It's important in a marriage, especially in a young person's relationship. You know what I mean? You got all that testosterone going, surging through you as a man, that estrogen going through you as a woman. And I don't know. If anybody who thinks that men enjoy sex more than women, you'll only think that until you please a woman. Then you'll find out. You'll find out, like, oh, you thought you could hang. Yeah, she'll show you. So make sure it's comfortable. Make sure it's convertible, huh? Convertible? Convertible? Is that what we doing? Make sure it's convertible. I don't know. That means the top comes off. I don't know. That could be metaphoric, right? Yeah. Make sure the chick is convertible. Yo, Jeffrey Gong Dong, why are you spamming? I like Mountain Dew chicken. Why are you spamming that? What we doing? What we doing, sir? What are we doing? Why would anybody spam that? What we doing? Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure. And yo, if y'all want to call in, because you may want to talk about this topic more, a little bit more up close and personal. You know what I mean? You might want to talk about it more intimately, or there may be things that you don't feel like writing in the chat, and you just yo, Jeff, stop spamming the chat. I'm warning you. I don't want to warn you, but I'm warning you. Stop spamming the chat now. All right. I'm gonna have to make a move if you do it one more time. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Dave. Like, what's up with the bull? What we doing over here? All right. He can't be stopped. All right, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's okay. It's okay. Yo, man, it's alright. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, man, I understand that some people are very religious. And they follow that form of spirituality. I'm like, God's gonna have to forgive me. But yeah. And like, listen, sex doesn't have to be the thing that drives your relationship. It doesn't have to be the thing that makes you want to be with somebody or get with somebody. It doesn't have to be the thing that keeps y'all together. But don't blow it off like it's not important at all. If it wasn't, if sex wasn't important at all, then why would animals do it? And people can say that animals only have sex in order to procreate. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. I think we need to stop saying that shit. Because anybody who's ever had their leg humped by a dog, I know that dog knew that it couldn't impregnate your leg. They have a very good sense of smell. So they know a female dog when they see one. So why are you humping a female human or a male? Just the leg though. Is he blind? So yeah. If animals do it, then it's a natural thing to do. I mean, you don't have to do it irresponsibly. Never that. You don't have to do it irresponsibly, but let's not act like we can speak for the animal kingdom. Like, yeah, they only have sex in order to procreate. Because I've watched plenty of videos with animals having sex, and they do not look like they are just trying to procreate. But it is interesting though. You know, little sidebar. It is interesting that when animals have sex, that shit don't be taking no long time, son. Only human beings be fucking all night. Animals, that should be over in a few seconds. And that it doesn't matter what animal you talking about. I think gorillas, like primates, they may get it in a little bit longer than everybody else. All the other animals, lions, bears, giraffes, cows, it'd be over in seconds. It'd be over in seconds. He'd be like, and he'd be busting. And I don't never see the female animal be like, dag, nigga, again? Damn. I was just about to get mine. Well, you better narrow it down. You better narrow it down, get yours within the first 5 seconds, baby. Because you know this ain't going to last more than about 15 to 30 seconds. That's about it. It really be over fast. Kim's Wims, what's good, Mom? What's good? Good to see me some you. You already know how we do. So if you don't know the title, the title of the show, the topic of discussion, we're saying not on the same frequency, Kim. Frequency. Freak. Wincy. Emphasis on the freak. Frequency. So we're talking about sexual compatibility mostly. And even going a little farther than just sexual compatibility. Like, you know, when you know that somebody, you might be like a total freak and you know that they got a little freak in them, but it's only a little bit. They only got baby freak in them, and you like Grace Jones with yours. Because you know Grace Jones in her heyday, she was a straight. She was a straight. You know, I saw a porno with Grace Jones in it before. That little skinny vixen was getting it in. Grace. VJ said, oh, God. Okay. Mountain Dew chicken. Okay. All right. Nova says, why are we talking about pornos? No? Or does that mean pornos now? Yo, T Carey, right? Like, what we doing? Like, what we doing out here? Somebody tell me what we doing out here. Where we at here? Somebody let me know. No, Nova, you got to learn how to write. you got to learn how to write. That's all. I mean, I ain't mad at you, but you got to learn how to write. Dave says, what do you think about Gavin's question, son? Experience isn't always a bad thing. Well, what is... Oh, damn, I missed this question. He said, do you find experience attractive in a woman? Yeah, I do. Yeah. Listen, I'm different. If I had to choose between a hoe and a virgin, I'm going with the hoe. I know a lot of men would be like, why would you do that? Because I need that experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, listen, I didn't like virgins when I was a virgin. You know, all that pain. Ow, wait, stop, wait, I'm ready to get loose. Yo, give it to me. Oh, tell them you got juice. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm trying to swim. A hoe can be reformed. This I know. Listen. If a hoe like you, she'll stop being a hoe. I guess you could say, like, if a virgin likes you, she could stop being a virgin too. But it'll take her. Yeah. And for all the men out there who say, nah, man, I don't like no hoe. I'm like, I bet you in the bedroom, you be wanting that whole experience. I bet you ain't never turned down the whole experience in the bedroom. Would y'all say, I want a lady in the streets, a freak in the sheets? You want a hoe. Because, you know, hoes are very freaky. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you know, you are haunted by the ghosts of freak hoes past. You are haunted.
You have a call.
You know, for all my men out there, for all the brothers out there that are haunted by freak hoes past, the ghosts of freak hoes past, like, oh, she fucked all my boys. Ooh, she gave head to the whole football team. Ooh. Oh, these hoes ain't loyal. Ooh. They haunted by the ghosts of freak hoes past, son. I know, son. Look. There's a time when you gotta concentrate. Basically finish your food. You're worried about all the places she's been. Are you gonna make sure that she's where she's supposed to be then? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, listen, man. I mean, I know every man, you know, gets a little possessive, especially when he starts liking a woman and all of that kind of shit. But yo, that whole experience that she got. Now, the worst thing that can happen to you is that you get with a chick that you know she got a whole past. You know she got a whole past. And when she get with you, she want to act like she reformed. She want to be all born again, Christianed out. Now she don't give head no more. You know, she used to be able to suck a tennis ball through a garden hose. And now all of a sudden, she don't give head no more. No more head. No more head. Like, so all the dudes before you They got the whole experience. They got the whole total experience. And you got to praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. Hold on. You got to I'm gonna praise Jesus. He saved me again. I'm gonna praise Jesus. He saved me again. Oh Lord, he saved me again. Oh Lord, he saved me again. You ain't getting no head tonight, brother. You ain't getting no head. You ain't getting no head. You ain't getting no ass. You gonna get the straight missionary. Not anything. It's only, first of all, it's only missionary position. It's only called missionary when you don't know what you're doing. When you know what you're doing, it's called being on top. and when you on top, it's a hell of a feeling, son. Y'all on top. Y'all niggas on the bottom. But anyway. James Williams, what's good? How you feeling, Mom? What's up with you?
So from one thing to the next, you start playing the tambourine to the first song.
Hey.
What is he doing?
I mean, he asked the question. I missed the question in the chat. They made me go back and read it. You know what I mean? You know? Because I know dudes be fronting. I don't want no loose booty shit. I'm like, I mean, I understand. But if I got to choose between a hoe and a virgin, just know that O is going with the hoe.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Well, I wanted to respond to Buttercup's comment in the chat. He said women know within the first 5 minutes what it's going to be. There's some validity to that. However, in those same 5 minutes, it can change real fast.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The slightest thing. So, well, yeah, we kind of know. We kind of know what we're going to do in a few minutes. And unfortunately, the fellas can ruin that just as instantly by saying something stupid or doing something stupid. And pretty much a wrap, and we kind of won't change our minds for a long time.
Well, let me ask you this.
Sure.
I'm sure that you talked to dudes before, gave them your number or whatever, and or on social media, you know what I mean? They sent you a friend request, you accepted it, whatever, however it went, and they got right in your inbox, and if you gave them any kind of time, any kind of attention or whatever, or let them shoot their shot, what's the soonest that a dude has? You know how dudes will be like, what's your favorite sexual position? Because they do that shit online. You like with the quickness, you know what I mean? Like they gonna get it established. What's the soonest that a man should start bringing sex into the conversation? What's the acceptability of that, in your opinion?
I don't think there's a time frame. I just think it's about when you two are comfortable enough with each other. If the conversation is going well, the first time you say it's never they get your number, then they get in your inbox. It's usually they get in your inbox and start the bullshit first. Like some of these raggedy niggas out here immediately get your dick pic, and it's like, dude, I'm here to spend this time on freaking. Oh, thank you. And please don't be bad, because we're going to talk about you and we'll probably put it on the internet. So I'm just saying.
Well, it happened on the internet, right? So
yeah, that's how I feel. You get to this mind. It just depends on the conversation. Let's just be honest. If the conversation is going well, that conversation may come up. If it's a smooth going kind of situation and y'all vibing, it might come up. And it just depends on how it's said. Like you can't just be hey, we talk 1 minute about politics or food or movies, and like, oh, by the way, what's
like that shit must be work. It must work with some women because why would they do it?
it works with some women because some women are just trash too. I mean, it just is what it is. People are people, and I don't. I mean, no, I'm not gonna take it back. Some women are trash too, just like some men are trash. So that's how it works. You know, for those people, you could some of these women you could send them a dick pic and that. Ooh, my new baby daddy. Like, bitch, are you crazy? Or ooh, let me talk to him. You know, so there are some women out there who are like that. Not everybody, but some are. So some you can talk about it in the first 5 minutes and they're good to go. Some it could take longer. Some who are church, air quotes, it may take 10 weeks before they have that discussion. If it do last that long. And some it just to be the vibe. Like for me, it's the vibe. If we having a good conversation and you can't just, like I said, you can't just, well, what's your favorite sexual position? But if we having a smooth conversation and it comes up and you say it to me like, you know, an adult, a mature grown ass man, and we're having a real conversation, then I'll engage. But if it's on some bullshit, I'm not having to.
I mean, I can dig it. I'm just, I'm thinking that if a man starts talking about sex, the first conversation y'all had, and early in that first conversation, now if you respond to that, any woman that responds to that positively, then he already know what time it is. Now they consider adults; they can do whatever they want to do. But I know for a fact that some women would just play around with a dude. Like, all right, so since he on this type vibe, I'm gonna be on this vibe. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, she might oblige all of that shit, and she has absolutely no intentions of fucking with the nigga. You know what I'm saying? She might not even be giving him any right information. She just giving him what he was asking for. He wanted it
before.
Okay, so
yeah.
So either way, y'all are establishing a certain frequency. Although it's false on your side, real on his side. Eventually he's gonna keep pulling the arm or pressing that button until he hits that, until he wins some money on that jackpot or on that slot machine. You know what I'm saying? Now it might not be you, but it's probably going to be somebody. They used to have dudes. They used to be dudes who used to go to bars and they would just sit next. They would sit next to a chick that they liked or whatever that they was attracted to, and they'd be like, "Yo, what's up, mom? I'm trying to fuck." And of course, they would only hit like one out of maybe 25 or 30 for that night, but that one they hit. So that's all they cared about. Boom, I got the one. The only motivation that they had for doing that, for approaching a woman, in that kind of vulgar way, was that one of them is gonna bite, and they're gonna make his night. Now, when I was talking about this show, when I drafted this show up, I was talking about people who are already established. Whether they've been together for years or whether they just got together and are trying to find a comfort zone with each other, or really trying to find a safe space with each other. Now, when I say, or when I ask about the frequency, trying to establish an understanding with somebody that you may not have an understanding with yet, and we're talking about on the physical side of things. You may have certain physical needs that you would like to have fulfilled, and you may be dealing with somebody who is either unwilling to do it or unable to do it because maybe they might be more inhibited than you are, even though you may not be totally uninhibited, but you may be a little bit more sexually free than somebody is. You know what I mean? It doesn't take a whole lot in order for y'all to be incompatible. And some people will just ignore the part about compatibility and concentrate on other things. Whenever I hear somebody say, it's not about sex. Sex doesn't matter. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, I'm not saying that sex has to be the glue that keeps y'all bonded, but don't write it off like it's totally unimportant. Like I said, if sex wasn't important, then animals wouldn't do it, and they do. And if sex was only for procreation, then animals wouldn't do it. Like I said, we've all had a dog hump our leg. He knew damn well that it wasn't. You never had a dog hump your leg?
No.
Are you afraid of dogs?
But yeah.
Oh, then that's why. That's the only reason. Because
We've had dogs.
I've had. Listen, I've had female dogs. No. I was like, damn, Queen. What was her name? Her name was Sheba. Was it Sheba? Lady was like, ugh. I was like, really like me, don't you, lady? Like, I'm like, she's lady like, look. You know what I mean? You see my tongue hanging out my mouth here. You know what I mean? Like, you cute. But anyway, but yeah, so
But isn't that a conversation adults should have in the beginning anyway? Shouldn't you be talking about these things if you're going to advance in the relationship, any kind of relationship? I think that's a conversation you should have in the beginning anyway. Like,
you probably should have that conversation, but probably is one of those words that sometimes gets thrown by the wayside. Like, you probably should have the conversation, but maybe one of y'all tried to have the conversation sooner than the other one wanted to have the conversation, and then the conversation just broke down. That's not to say that y'all never had sex, but maybe because y'all didn't discuss what the expectation was, what your desires are, your fantasies are, what the things that you like, just the things that you like.
We're taught that's taboo. You know that we're taught that's taboo to have those conversations, and especially talk anything that would be considered freaky. That's a taboo something. So a lot of times we stumble on it. My ex, he likes to have anal sex, and I don't, and I didn't. And he tried, and I said no, and he tried again, and now he has a scar for life. Because if I said no, damn it, I mean no. And he thought I was playing, like he was used to women like that, and that's good for him, but it wasn't good for me. And now it was not good for him because he has a scar for life.
Yeah, I was talking about this in the beginning of the show. Anal is one of those things. Y'all need to have that discussion. You know what I'm saying? That's one of those things. Like, listen, anal ain't for everybody. And that's on the male side and the female side. Because I've been with women who women who like anal, they love that shit. They don't like it, they love it. That's their thing. So if a man ain't with that shit, you know what I'm saying? So that's taking away a large part of their sexual repertoire. I get it. I do. I get it. But, that's what she needs somebody. She needs somebody that's been locked up for, like, I don't know, a significant amount of time. She needs somebody that's coming from upstate who didn't have no conjugal visits.
But I think that's why we need to, I don't know, I can't speak for anybody else, I can only speak for me and maybe my circle. It's important to have those conversations. That's why I'm not a prude about, if we talk about it the first time we talked, and so be it. Again, it's how it's talked about. You can't be disrespectful and then think I'm going to yield to anything. However, there are times when it just fits. It may seem, listen, there's a guy who was supposed to be a one-night stand. I've never had a one-night stand. It sounds so crazy to say like it's something that you should have, but I never have. And this guy, in my head, he was going to be my one-night stand. And it was just because the chemistry was there, like immediately. He talked a little shit, I talked a little shit. He flirted a little. Okay, I'm going to respond to what he's flirting. And it just worked. Mm-hmm. But he ended up not being a one-night stand because we didn't do nothing that night. And then we just kicked it to like 5 o'clock in the morning and hung out the whole weekend and just became cool for life. but we immediately start having these sexual conversations or our innuendos, if nothing else. And so we already decided this is what it was going to be, but didn't turn out as such. Not a bad thing because Mike, he's a good friend, but
Mm-hmm.
but we started immediately with it because the vibe was right. So I'm not approved to starting those conversations because you never know where it's going to lead. And again, it's always been taboo for us, especially for women. If you start these conversations with a man or you let him talk to you like that, then of course you immediately become tagged as a whore or something like that. And it could simply be that you're just more free, you're more open, you're more comfortable with your sexuality. So you don't have a problem talking about it. And I'm not talking about the weird shit. Maybe send a dick pic and you all for it. I'm not talking about that because that's a different topic. I'm just talking about, hey, let's be cool. We're going to be cool. We're going to talk about this if we're going to lead to something. And let's talk about everything. Let's not bullshit around with it. Let's talk about everything. That you know where we're going to go with it. Because there's some things I'm not going to do, and I don't want you to do to me. So there's no sense in us pretending in it. Let's get it out in the open. And I get it. I saw what Gavin said. A lot of people don't or aren't very open in the beginning because they fear judgment. And that's true. They fear judgment. And again, that comes from us it being such a taboo topic. Like the assumption is that men always want a threesome. And they want their women to watch porn and all this different stuff. But surprisingly enough, that's not true. There's a lot of men who aren't into threesomes, and there are a lot of men who aren't into porn like that. By themselves, maybe, but with their women, they feel different. But those are conversations that aren't had. And when we spring stuff on each other, I think that's where that judgment comes in. We start the surprise of stuff. Sometimes it's good, but most times it's not. And that's where, like for my ex, it was not. It just didn't go well for us for a minute because we never had the discussion. And you just tried something, and I told you no, and you did it again. It's like, I am going to kill you. So if we had that conversation in the beginning, we would have never been there. And maybe we wouldn't have been in a relationship. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's best to have the conversation and get it all out on the table. That's what I think. Especially at this age. Especially 53. What are we? I don't want to go ring around the rosy with you. I don't want to play games with it. I want to pretend. Let's talk about it. One of your people, I'm probably a trash woman too. It was so mean. Now that I think back over it, it was really mean. But it was like, I told you in the beginning I was going to do this, but you was determined. So now it is what it is. But yeah, people, I never, he approached. I responded. The conversation seemed good, then it went off the rails one day, and I kind of tried to pull it back, and he was determined to have it his way. And I was like, boy, this is not going to be nice for you. And so, it was mean. I don't want to say no more about it. It just was mean what I did. But maybe if he had listened to what I said in the beginning when I tried to pull it back in, it wouldn't have ended the way it did. And I think that's the other side of it too. We can't just talk about it and talk about it. You have to talk about it and listen. And sometimes people don't want to listen, and that becomes a problem. Not pouring on.
Yeah, well, I'm look. What a man and a woman do in the privacy of each other is cool, but the thing is, what's the use in privacy if you're still not able to be who you want to be or get what you want. You know what I mean? Like that. I'm not gonna say that it's a waste of privacy, but it doesn't seem as
it's counterproductive.
Definitely that.
Counterproductive to the relationship, no matter what kind of relationship it is. It's counterproductive to the relationship. So here's an example of that. If a guy, this is up me up though, man. If a guy was into women's garments and he never said it, so now he's holding back his frequency, what he likes. And then one day you walk in, you got on your drawers, a problem. What are you doing? But if he had said this up front at first, and that's one of those ones he's probably being fear judgment. But if he had said it up front, then that would take the sting out. Like I just seen earlier today, yesterday, whatever it was, that one of those weirdo Kardashian girls wants to have sex with this gay dude. And I mean, to each his own, that's not for me. But I'm like, hey, she's open, she understands what he does, and she's okay with it. So knock yourself out, sister. Yeah, but knock yourself out, sister, if that's what works for you.
Yeah.
That is the kind of honesty that should be had. That way, there are no surprises. There's no confusion. There's no nothing, but now everyone can be as free as they want to be. I agree. In the confines of the bedroom, you should be able to be as free as you want to be. But again, that was such a taboo thing for us to talk about. And a lot of stuff is. A lot of stuff is taboo. I've seen a guy say today, women need to be more comfortable with a man who wants to sleep with a man. No, they don't have to be comfortable. For the women who are comfortable, then that should be a conversation. And for the men who want that, they should be able to say, hey, this is what I like to do. That way, women who are not into it can say, that's good for you, but I don't, and I won't. Nice knowing you, girl. And move on with their life.
So let me get this straight. There are men talking about women need to get comfortable with men wanting to have sex with men.
I saw that and I was like, well, all right, that must be the new world shit. Cause now,
was this person calling themselves straight at the same time?
Once you start asking questions, you already know the answer to. Don't put me in this bullshit. Don't you do that. You already know the answer to your question.
Well, I'm saying because new motherfuckers out here these days will actually come out of their face and say that they're straight, and I'm like, what kind of straight is that? Yeah, I just like to have sex with men sometimes, but I'm a straight man. I'm like, all right.
You go straight out of my house. I mean, it's good.
That shit is about, those remember those candy shoestrings that we used to eat?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about as straight as that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No.
But there's no reason to lie about it, especially when there are women, celebrity women out here who are saying they're comfortable with it. So that's good. And there are other women who are too. And that's fine. If you are open and honest in the beginning, there is no room for confusion. I promise it's not. Yeah. But people are so, I don't understand. Again, we are in, this is not the 70s, 80s, 90s. And we are beyond 2021 or 2001. We're beyond that. So we live in this society now where everybody's free to whatever the fuck they want to do. So there is no reason to lie about it. That's why I don't understand those lies. And I know some people say, well, it's because they're afraid they're going to lose the person they really want to be with. Sometimes that's what happens. So why not do it in the beginning than make it a bad situation in the end? Because we can still communicate and be friends and associates if you tell me in the beginning. But if I find out later, it is not going to go well for one of us. and I can guarantee you it's always going to go well for me. So the thing about it is, tell the truth. And adults have a hard time doing that. And I'm always like, you gonna get a whooping? Are you gonna have to stay in the corner? Who's going to put you on punishment? Who's gonna take your cell phone and your phone privileges away? No one. So just tell the damn truth and save all the heartache in the end. And I think it's more men who do that than women. And it's the men who want to do other shit who do that. So I believe it's some women too, but I think women are a little more open with it because they think it's more acceptable for a woman to be to want to have sex with the same sex. It's more acceptable than it is for a man who wants to have sex with the same sex. So I think that's the reason why. But let's remove even that. Again, the simple conversation of I want some head, I want some anal. Those are conversations that are not always had. And I don't understand again why that can't be discussed in the beginning. Just don't fucking waste time, especially when we are in our age group. We're closer to the end than the beginning. So don't waste time with dumb shit now. Just tell the fucking truth and get it out into the open. That's the part. But we live in a society where people are still very immature. So to me, that's a sign of immaturity. Sex is sex. We've all had it, for the most part. I'm sure there are a few virgins out there in our age group, but the majority of us have had sex. It's not a secret. The majority of us have crossed lines. We probably now like, oh, why did I do that? It's no secret. So what are we lying about it for? Why are we hiding it? We should be able to explore these things. And I'm sorry, it's probably very hurts the people's feelings, but fuck what the church say, fuck what the Bible say, fuck all that shit. We are fucking grown people. We are doing this shit. We've been doing this shit. We've been sinning. We are born as iniquities. So what the fuck? Talk about it.
Mm-hmm. All I know is it could be a lonely position when when you are dealing with somebody who you're not sexually compatible with, or somebody that is resistant to certain things that you would like to do. You have the choice to either be ashamed of yourself for wanting what you want or liking what you like, or you can blame the other person or whatever. But through communication, a lot of these things could have been avoided. Now, I've known a lot of men who said that they don't, they want themselves a good girl. So they wanted the woman to make them wait until like maybe an extended amount of time before she has sex with them or whatever, or sometimes all the way up until marriage. Okay, I mean it's cool. You can go the spiritual route, the biblical route, and, if that works for you. But just know, now you might be setting yourself up for a lot of disappointment in the long term. If you know that you like to get it in and you like to get it in a certain type of way, and there are certain things that, let me just say, there are certain toppings that you like on your ice cream, and you try to convince yourself that you could just go straight vanilla or straight chocolate and everything would be all right. No extras, no jimmies, no caramel, no chocolate, no whipped cream, no nuts, no banana, no nothing. You know what I mean? No cherries, strawberry, whatever. You convince yourself that you didn't need any of the extras. Okay, fine. Well, the time is going to come when you're going to have to really come to grips with what you really like. And you can't always put somebody else's insecurities or needs ahead of your own. Not all the time. I mean, it's altruistic to do it sometimes, but you're talking about, well, nobody gets into a relationship for somebody else's pleasure. You get into a relationship because you found somebody that you want to be with. There's nothing wrong with admitting that. And if you can admit it to yourself, you should be able to admit it to somebody else. But I mean, the amount of men that I've known grown ass men, 30s, 40s, 50s, and they are they are married to a woman, or or they've been dealing with a chick or whatever that don't give them no head, and they know they like head. So you got to go to your side chick head. I mean, your side chick to get head, or you gotta go pay a trick or something, some shit like that, because you convince yourself that you could hitch yourself up to this headless carriage. You know what I'm saying?
And the other side of that too, we have to include in there. There are some people who are inexperienced, even at our age. There are some people who are very inexperienced because they've had sex, but they've never had intimacy. So there's that. And then there are some people who really don't know what they like because they've never experienced intimacy. So there's that other side too. We have to include those in there as well, which is, oh God, this is when you got to teach somebody something or introduce them to something. And but those people exist too. We cannot exclude them from this. So sometimes they don't know that that's what they like.
And that's cool. There's one thing to be with somebody who may not know what they like, but they're willing to trust you and explore some things. It's a whole different deal when y'all haven't talked. So everything that you introduce or bring up or whatever, it's a hard no. Everything is a hard no. No, no, no. Don't ask. It ain't gonna happen. I don't even know why you would want to do. Why would you even want to do something like that? Blah, blah, blah. And there are plenty of men who have convinced themselves that they would be okay in that situation. And there are women who convince themselves in the same way. You know what I mean? Shoot. I used to, now, I don't want to be all stereotypical, but I used to hear back in the day, a lot of people used to say that Jamaican men don't go downtown. They don't.
That's a lie.
It used to be a popular misconception. I don't know if it was true or not. You know what I'm saying? I never polled a bunch of them, but a lot of people used to say that, and I was like, oh well, so okay, let's say that it was true for a lot of them. Let's just say that. Okay, so you mean to tell me that all the women that they got with tolerated that? Like, so she either has to pleasure herself or whatever. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, I don't know if that was true. Oh, damn. T. Carey Wright says growing up, it definitely was not a lie. It was a cultural taboo. So yeah, I mean, I guess it was something to that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know if it was true or not. But I could imagine how that could become a problem later on. So when you have to start dealing with things like infidelity and stuff like that, because I've also heard rumors that all Jamaican chicks cheat, all Jamaican men cheat. I mean, Jamaicans just got they just get a bad. They've gotten a bad rap over the years. It can't be true for all of them, but nonetheless, what you want is what you want, and what you need is what you need, and what you like is what you like. You know what I mean? And for the people who say that certain things are just wants, they're not needs. Well, I don't make the distinction between wants and needs. If you want something bad enough, then you need it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just in order for me to be okay, in order for me not to catch an attitude, in order for me to feel comfortable, in order for me to relax, in order for me to get a good night's sleep, there may be certain things that I need, and they may sound like wants to you, but hey, they're needs to me. Now if we can't communicate with each other and get on the same page about that, but you think that we're going to be able to get on the same page about our physical activities, then you might be maybe you're right sometimes, maybe a lot of other times you're wrong. You know what I mean? But a lot of people do not talk to each other, and some people who talk to each other, some couples who talk to each other, they don't talk to each other about what they really want or need. depending on the circumstances. Depending on the circumstances, we would think that if people have been together for years and years, that they would know everything that each other want, and that they would be fulfilling each other's needs, or whatever. They would come to some kind of meeting of the minds or some kind of understanding. That's what we would think. But how come I know plenty of people who are broken up, and then all of the stories come out about how, there was selfishness, there was misunderstanding, there was misconceptions, there was all of this shit. And I'm like, and y'all was together how long? You was there. They weren't communicating effectively. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm like, so you mean to tell me that had he or she done this or that, then everything would have been all right? Yeah, but they weren't open to it. They wasn't trying to hear. I'm like, okay. I mean, it happens. Shit happens.
That's why they have to have those conversations before they even cross the line. Yeah. That's how you avoid that. I mean, it's just no way around it. And like I said in the chat, fetishes are included in that as well. If you have a fetish, you need to just go out and up and stuff about that too, because that can turn into that can get bad as well. Like I said, a guy who wants to wear women's underwear, and you never know, and you walk in and he got your panties on, and we're done here, sir, today, right now, this second, and we're not going to have the conversation about it. We're over it. So when he said that at first, the right one, we're like, okay, here, let's go shop so you can have your own,
Yeah. Hey, I mean, this shit goes in so many different directions for different people. I mean, there are a lot of different colors to this thing. They people wearing much different outfits for different occasions when it comes to this. But yeah, keeping the lines of communication is easy for those who it's easy for. For some people, it's just not that easy. It's just not that.
Not comfortable with their sexuality. That's one. And people who are deeply rooted into religion, that's two. Even culturally, that hinders people being honest about who they are and what they want and need. There are a lot of things that prevent that past relationships where people don't talk about it. And again, sometimes people go into relationships thinking because, okay, we had some good sex these many times, we're good. And because we've had good sex all this time, we're good. When one of the partners is like, no, we're not. And maybe the other one is not willing to listen, or they're not really listening to understand what their partner is saying. And that's where you start to realize there has always been a breakdown in communication, and it needs to be fixed, or it's not going to get any better. Especially when you open the can of worms, and now they're just out crawling, and you still don't communicate about it. That can get bad. I'm not condoning cheating, but I know that's how some of that starts. Somewhere in there, some of that starts because of that lack of communication, that lack of understanding, that lack of compromise. Because sometimes it requires a little bit of compromise, and everybody's not willing to do that. Like I told you, the one guy, I'm saying little slick stuff, and he's like getting mad for real. And I'm like, let me get my baby on, get out of here, because what is happening? So, it's that kind of thing. And it's just that he was inexperienced and an idiot. But it's stuff like that too that can make it bad, that we couldn't communicate. So,
Yeah. It's not even just sex. I mean, a lot of people who want to be together or are together, they can't talk about other things that they like also that have nothing to do with the bedroom behavior. You know what I mean? And I figure if you can't communicate about other things that you might like music, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, shit happens. You know what I mean? Like you can't play the type of music that you like around somebody because they don't, they don't appreciate it, or they might clown you or whatever. I mean, you already are in the beginning stages of some serious miscommunication and lack of appreciation and acceptance of each other. There ain't too many great places that's going to go.
Failureville, that's where it's going to go.
Yeah, you might be right there.
Mm-hmm.
You might be right there. So I mean, it's tough shit. But and let me make sure that I get this point across. When we talk about frequency, we're not always just talking about, like, all sex isn't physical. There might be some mental, or, you know what I mean, or some non-physical things that turn you on. So if somebody isn't open to that, like, maybe there's some, like if a dude might call a chick out of her name when, when they getting into it, and she might be offended. Shit, that might bring back old memories of some other shit that you may know nothing about. I mean, you should know what's up. Don't just don't just start putting, making a try on shoes that she hasn't. Don't just start buying her shoes she ain't tried on yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. Make sure that that length and that width is right.
Well, hair pulling is a thing. Hair pulling is one of those kind of things. Like,
listen,
there are a lot of men who don't know how to pull hair right. You're like,
okay.
Apart you.
I thought you was going to say there are a lot of women who don't like their hair pulled. I'm like, if a woman don't like her hair, she should never have sex, ever.
Well, I can't speak for any other woman. I can only speak for me. And
I'm just saying.
And I know collectively we do. But unfortunately, there's a lot of men out here who don't know what to do. And it's like, are you trying to rip a plug out of my hair? What are you
doing? He pulling your hair like he fighting you.
We're done, sir. Get off me. Get off me. And we're over for today. What you doing? You find it funny, but it's really not.
You pulled your hair like a World Star video. World Star.
And that's when you're like, do the fellas need to teach the other fellas a class on how this works?
Well, one thing about men, even around other men, they always try to act like they know everything, and it's funny. It's funny because the men who do know something, we just be standing around. We try to put them on like, that shit, yeah, you bugging on that, but. Oh man!
I'm really trying to put them all. Y'all just sit and look at each other. Look at this nigga here.
Listen, sometimes it's worth going ahead and schooling them, or at least putting them up on game. And then sometimes it's like, all right, you know what? Let him learn his way. Listen, when I was younger, when I was like I was in my 30s, and it was this dude was older than me. He was like. He had to be like a good 8 years older than me. This nigga was straight advocating when he nut, sex is over, and that's whether he nut fast or whatever. Like basic, he used to say, if I come, you go. I come, you go. And I used to be like, what? Yo. He was dead serious. He was on that tip of like, well, I got mine. You should have went faster.
Oh, this is a terrible fella.
This was a grown ass man.
He was trash.
Yo, I was like, yo, my dude, yo.
He wasn't been treated like that. And that was just, he just taught himself to be like that. Cause man,
listen, I'm like, I hope he deals with nothing but crackheads. Cause I'm like, yo. Cause that's the only way I can see that would have made sense. Go ahead, man. Pass off your little $5, $10 and you know what I mean, keep it moving. Other than that, I'm like, yeah, what? Like, I'm sure the look on my face was like the look of horror. Like, yo, dude, you can't do that shit. No, you gonna fuck it up for everybody. I mean, he didn't give a fuck. He didn't give one single solitary fuck. He was like, yeah, it was like you could tell he had been doing.
God, you hurt him because that's a hurt nigga.
Man, I don't know what was going on.
What is happening? Well, that's different. But that's the kind of thing that should be discussed in the beginning.
I wasn't ready. I was not ready. Mia said he knew he was trans.
Be like, oh, that's how you do. You don't touch me. But I'm sure there's some out there like, okay, run me my coin, and then we good. So, you know.
I was like, yo, you can't. She's gonna talk really bad about you. He didn't give a fuck. I guess he was one of them one and done type dudes. You know what I'm saying? I guess he knew. He knew.
He masturbated a lot. He must have been one of those people. He just masturbated a lot. Just got this whole rhythm up, I guess. Maybe that's what it was.
I just was thinking like, yo, you ain't never gonna have a girlfriend. You like 40-something years old. Yeah. What we doing? Otherwise, he was a cool dude. That was my man. But I was like, this is bad. This is.
The barbershop saying that, and they're mortified.
Yeah, hold on. Let me say, hold on. Let me tell you something. Yo, since we talk about being on the same frequency, my man, this is when I was in college. So two of my friends, they was roommates. Now, they was similar. One was a Puerto Rican dude from New York, and then was my man from Philly. So the dude from New York, the Puerto Rican boy, he was a boxer. You know, he boxed and shit, and he used to go with this black girl. Now my man was nosy as shit. So if he was rooming with her, he said, yo, oh man, he said every time his girl come over, I used to be listening. I used to turn my music down and see if I could, you know what I mean? I know they gotta be getting it in. I'm trying to, you know, see if I hear any moans, scream, even like a, you know what I mean, some knocking. He said he let me down every time, man. Here I am. I'm getting this full visual on this shit. Like, hold up. So let me get this straight. So, because this girl was fine too. You know, she was a nice girl. So I'm like, so every time they came over, I was like, so you know that they was getting it in, and you was listening. He was like, yeah, man, you know me. I'm listening. I'm trying, I'm cheering. I'm ready to cheer him on. Like, yeah. And then he said nothing. I was like, well, maybe they only do it at her crib. He's like, come on, oh. I was like, yeah.
There's no sound coming out at all.
He said. Now I know my man was listening.
No sounds are coming out. Wow.
And the reason I know he was listening, because I was his roommate the next semester. So, you know, I was like, he definitely got voyeuristic up. Good thing ain't no peepholes and no, you know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga, hey. It is 1993.
We're like the governor in North Carolina, wherever he is, when he gets a piece of sitting in the sex shop.
Right. Hey, this is. Oh, you talking about the? Yeah.
They thinking his name right there, Mark Robinson.
Yeah, Mark Robinson, that motherfucker. Yeah, pizza and porn, boy. Pizza and porn.
Well, see, my brain is not. I can't comprehend what you said. Like no sound. Like
he said. Oh man, I used to be listening. He said nothing. I ain't never heard nothing. I know they was doing it.
Okay.
He said he ain't hear nothing. So I'm imagine here it is 1993. So what Jade, don't walk away, boy. I'm imagining him turning that shit down like he said every single time he hit shit. And I know this motherfucker is tenacious. He probably every time they came home, he was probably he's ear to the wall. Goddamn disgrace.
Man, that's crazy. Listen, I remember when my neighbor's cousin was staying with him in the summer. And of course the windows are open in the summertime. And I remember his cousin used to always, hey Kim, how you doing? He speaks to him. Hey Sean, Kim, how y'all doing? Blah, 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 blah. But one of those times is a little different. We come out and see him, we sitting on the porch like we usually do. And he come in, I say, hey. And he looks at me and his face immediately turns beet red. And he's like, hey, Kim, what's up, Sean? I'm like, what's happening here? What is this? It's acting weird. Sean said, because he heard you. Like, now, that's what it is. He heard you. And I'm like, no, that can't be it. But every time for like a month and a half, he would see me and he would blush so bad. So that's what my brain cannot calculate. You saying these people were having sex frequently and there was never a sound. How is that possible? Especially in your 20s. How do you do that over and over in your 20s and nothing? No, something was wrong with that girl because I would have not stayed with him.
That was the scouting report.
And it's not good. Out. You're 22? No.
Listen, I tried to find every justification. I was like, well, maybe she's just not loud. You know what I mean? He said, I ain't hear no smacking. He gave me the whole. I was like, all right.
Was he a virgin? Maybe he was a virgin. Maybe he was a virgin.
Man, he wasn't no virgin. Penn State ain't had no virgins after freshman year. You know what I mean?
Maybe he was just lying.
You went from zero.
He wasn't, and he really was. I don't know. There's nothing that makes sense.
This is what makes sense. Since he was a boxer, you know, you're not supposed to have sex when you training. There you go. He was training all the time, so he couldn't have sex. They just went in the room, watched movies, and held hands. He ain't win no championships. He wasn't even that good. He wasn't even that good. He could knock out the average street fighter, but they say when boxers train, they not supposed to have sex. They gotta save their nut.
I mean, was he taking an injection or something? Because none of that makes sense. Here, we're not gonna make excuses for this weekend. And that weak ass chick, because she had to be weak too. So.
Hold on, Johnny come lately.
You have a call from
Troy.
Hey, Johnny. Glad you can make it.
Anybody seen Johnny?
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know you were still here. I ain't talked to you in a long ass time.
We ain't talked for years, man. God damn, how you been doing, bro?
Man, I've grown a little bit. You know what I mean? I grew my hair back, cut my beard off.
I can tell. Are y'all on the same frequency?
No, we just on the same page.
Frequency, God damn. Hey. On how I feel is, you gotta be a whore. Just be a fucking whore. I don't give a fuck. If you sit back and you just timid, one and done.
Wait a minute, what are you saying, Troy?
You fucking right. You gotta be a whore. Disrespectful in the bedroom. Disrespectful. Wake up the next morning, pray to God. Oh my God, I don't believe I did all that shit. Did I do that? What the fuck is he doing? He's doing a lot. I don't believe this motherfucker. He's nasty, but I like it. What the fuck you doing? Shit. That's the fucking, that's all that. Hey, that's in the book. That's in the Bible, I think. Adam had to be a whore.
Don't bring that here.
Say no. That's why Adam took the damn apple.
Don't you bring that in here tonight, Troy. We don't want your Bible shenanigans.
Adam made shit. Hey, as soon as Eve bent over and she was like, go ahead, Adam, go ahead, bite the apple. Look at this big piece of skin between my legs. Look, you might know what to do with this. Look this right here, Adam.
And that's that right there. That's why Jamaicans didn't used to.
I don't know about that, because I don't know. Maybe I just met the right one.
It could be. I mean, that would explain some things.
Yeah.
It could definitely explain some things. Troy, you ever been?
One thing. I had a bull, right? I took this bull because when I first learned about the Gentleman's Club, which back in the day used to be called the Go-Go bars. I took my bull to the bar. He said, Troy, I want to go to the Go-Go bar with you. I said, for real? I said, I'll take you there.
Nigga, don't you say Go-Go bar no damn more. You better say strip club. How about the damn Go-Go bar?
Back in the day, it was the Go-Go.
Back in the day, it was the Go-Go bar. It would say it right there, Go-Go bar. Yep.
I took him to Hearts and Flowers.
Okay.
So I take him to Hearts and Flowers, right? We in there. So, back then it was $5 a day. So he danced. And the song that's on, I still remember the song was on. It was Digital Underground's Do What You Like.
Ooh.
Right? So he danced with this girl for like 5 songs. It's like $25. So when you get to the $30 point, this song is blasting. You can hear the song blasting. All of a sudden, you hear him go, oh. That's how this motherfucker sound when he fucks. I said, motherfucker, what you, a turkey?
That's what I was about to ask. Like, wait a minute. I told
this motherfucker to wear no windbreaker pants in this place. He wore windbreaker.
I'm done.
He wore windbreaker pants. Then we got done, And he told, yo, I want to go to the one you was telling me about before. I said, what, $5? He's like, oh, yeah. The motherfucker sound like a goblin. I thought somebody stepped on this foot or something.
I'm sure you never forgot that sound.
That's how he sound. Listen, I don't give a fuck who you fuck. If you sound like that when you buzz, and the girl what like, if she hear that shit, I know she gotta laugh.
I'm not sure if that would be a laughing matter. You know what I mean? Like, what the whoa.
I'm trash. I would record that shit and tell my friends.
I don't care if you bust. But don't be like, I said, motherfucker, don't get away from me. I said, get away from me. I said, tomorrow, you just lost a lot of cool points, bro. A lot of fucking cool points.
You were supposed to get up and just walk away.
Yeah. I mean, I could, if you bust in a Google bar, you don't let no noise. You just like, So this motherfucker like, I said, this motherfucker, you ain't a freak. You poultry. That was just the worst feeling in the world, man. You know what I mean?
Men have more awkward tendencies than women. I do. I think men have more awkward tendencies than women when it comes to stuff.
Remember the song Love Changes because she's from Melissa Morgan when they redid Love Changes? He said, it's going to be more hugging and more loving and more, ooh, yeah. I want the ooh, yeah part. That's the ooh, yeah part. You know what I mean? It got to be more, it can't be those, it got to be, when you wake up the next morning, both of y'all better be scrubbing your tongues.
What's your clock, so?
I don't even care. I got my little 2 cents thing. I mean, I went got me $10 worth of cookies from the corner store.
Well, I know for a fact that just because you came, your little 10 minutes just now is gonna get this whole show flagged. Like, I'm gonna have to petition the shit out of this.
Look, woo. Hey, you can't get me pissed. Listen, I went on this boy. I don't know if you ever heard of this boy. His name Angry Man. He got his own podcast, and he voted for Trump. And every time I see him on there, I call him. I say, "How you doing, Trump asshole bootlicker?" I just post that just to piss him the fuck off. You know what I mean? Because he was when the election came, he was always talking about Trump this, Trump that. Matter of fact, one time he blocked me. I said, "Hey, how you doing? I know you don't want to keep blocking me." Now when he was talking about women and relationships, I was rooting for him. I was like, "Yeah, you right." Or he got on that Trump shit. I was like, "Hey, pussy, hey, bitch, hey, asshole liquor, hey, Trump boot liquor." He just blocked me completely. So as soon as I come on, I can't even get the fuck through. But this right here, this ain't gonna get you flat. This gonna get you a congratulations. You talk about what people don't want to talk about, whether it's the shit that you went through in your childhood, the shit that you went through. I mean, shit, this right here, this human nature right here. Michael Jackson talk about it. I mean, it's part of life, man. Hey, you can't sit back and fight that. You know what I mean? If somebody in the fucking, if you're in the damn fucking dorm room and you don't hear no noise, you don't even hear no smacking.
Oh, you heard that? You heard that?
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit. What the fuck going on with
that to me? I don't understand.
They were mimes.
I look like I'm in there crocheting. I don't get it.
Not even a. Oh. Shit, even when you drink a soda, you burnt.
Exactly.
When you take that first swallow of soda, shit. Man, one time when I was dealing with this girl, she was like, "No, I can't do that right now. I'm not in the mood." I said, "Shit, I I held my pee for 15, 20 minutes. I went to the bathroom. I was like, oh. She said, what the fuck you doing in there? I said, I had to go to the bathroom. It felt so motherfucking good. I thought I had to smoke a cigarette. You ain't gonna take away my damn joy. Fuck that. Nasty is nasty. I think that when you're in the bedroom, ain't nowhere in the world you should be timid. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Yo, don't do that. I don't want you doing that. The only thing you don't do for me as a man is you don't touch that other thing. Anything that go below the sack on a man, you're gay. You're gay. Let me say it one more time. I never got my boys like, yeah, you ain't never let no girl be a this way. Fuck no. I said, look, fuck no. I said, you did? He said, yeah. I said, listen, bro, you're not even in my top 5 on my phone call list no more. We won't be talking like that no more. Don't nobody touch that. You don't go back. You don't go.
Well, you know what? We was talking about a part of that in the beginning of the show. But yeah, if you the type of dude who like your butt licked and all that kind of shit.
So I wasn't even trying to even put it out there like that.
Well,
so you the one now you talk about me
because I don't want nobody. I don't want nobody getting it fucked up. You know what I mean?
You the type of person that they like the rectal area licking. You a man? I just gotta do Big Daddy Kane to you.
Look, I mean, there are a lot of men who really like that shit.
God bless them.
I'm just saying. So if that's what you into, you need to be with a chick that's Listen, at the end of the day, I look at it this way: if she agreed to lick your ass, and you like to get your ass licked, then y'all kind of face off even after the breakup, because it's like, so you gonna tell me that I like to get my ass licked, but you gonna tell people that you eat ass? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It might be a win-win or lose-lose. I'm not really sure. Yeah, it is.
You mean to tell me? Probably get to see something like that play out, because Vivica's supposed to have some info on 50, and he just said some stuff about her, and she's probably very positive.
She admitted. She admitted that she used to eat his ass. She did.
25 now.
She said it. She said that she used to do that too. She said that he likes that. She used to do it to him. Same thing with
like her garbage too. Yeah.
Same thing with what's Dwayne Wade ex-wife or whatever.
Gabrielle Union.
Yeah, she said she used to lick his ass out. I mean, we knew he's soft. You know what I mean? But 50 had an image to protect.
Yeah.
So
I think that you're gay. You know what I mean? And especially if you protrude it up in the air. Hey, you know, babe, hold on. Let me protrude this up while you do this. Let me arch my.
I don't know.
Tell you something. Back in the 90s, there was there was this guy Preston. Now he said his name, last name. She said crazy. I didn't say it's a world full of Preston.
Hey, I'm about to go. It's a first name, John.
We were just playing. We were saying little slick shit to each other. And I remember I said something about, you keep on, I'm gonna put a vibrator in your butt. I said something retarded, silly. And I just kind of laughed it out. When you laughed it out, then all of a sudden he got real quiet. I was like, oh, you're gonna get offended. He said, you can if you want to. So I paused for a minute because my brain didn't catch up with my ears. And I said, huh? He said, if that's what you want to do, you can if you want to. I said, oh, okay. I said, let me call you back. That was in the 90s. It is 2025. I have never called him back since then, nor have I taken a call.
I know what then. You're still waiting for your call.
Well, you should be. That was never coming. soon as the words came out of his mouth, he said, no, that was innocent. And maybe that's what Gavin's talking about, judgment. Because I was super judgy then. Because to me, it means that you was on some other stuff that I wasn't on. We were replacing the same team, and there's no, I don't need a teammate for that. Yeah. So because of that, I'm out. So that's right. There was a judgment there for that. And again, I was in my 20s then, so I was really like, oh, hell no. But now, at 50 plus, if a man said that to me, I say, you know what, sir? Good luck with that. We friends. Just know we're not going to go further after this.
You can blame it on something. Blame it on the rain. Millie. I think you should be with a gender. With the last name Train.
Exactly.
All right, well, it's 10 after 4.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate the little 10 minutes I had. And that's just a little fun right there. Especially the shit I was saying about your boy in the college, Sam Dorn. I think that we need to still talk to him and talk to the boy who was having sex with the girl and find out what the fuck is wrong with him.
Yeah.
There's no way guys bring nurse. Like, I had a roommate, right? He had sex in the room, and I felt like I was doing play-by-play. I got a pen and a piece of paper and start writing shit down. Like, yo, yeah. I was the other people was like, yo, yeah, he's gonna play-by-play. Yeah, he brought it in the room. He did this. I heard I heard him like, oh, and I was like, oh shit. I felt like I was in a fucking middle of a party.
All right. So I wish y'all that.
Right.
Y'all have a good night.
He was in the room. He was in the middle of the party.
Appreciate y'all coming through. You already know. You know what I mean?
I know for a fact.
See y'all tomorrow night, Tuesday.
I know, son. I know for a fact that shit went from Penn State to Horse State when you was up there.
And so, you know,
you gonna ignore me.
So listen, y'all be safe. I can't with y'all later. Yo, love is love, y'all. Love is love. All righty. Yeah, good people. That Kim, that Troy. Oh my goodness. Oh, my favorites. Good commentary. What the fuck? All righty. All right, we have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious April 14th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special. Because they are special because they are SPECIAL. We get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. We get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. We get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. And let me see here. Julie Johnson, happy birthday to you. And also Carmelita Casares. And can't forget my girl, go-getter, Elaine Brown Blackman. Last but not least, that's it. That's all we only had. Wait a minute, let me make sure I ain't missed nobody. I didn't. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious April 14th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn to rock out. Rock on it, do the damn rock out. Rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, being on the same frequency ain't always easy, but it's always worth it. And yes, the responsibility, I hope you don't shirk it, because being happy with somebody is what you want. And even if you act like you're cool alone, you're fronting. And I understand a little something. I get it. Yeah, I really understand. Life is better when you really have it. And I'm talking about something that gets your heart pumping. There's something that gives you goosebumps and makes it be thumping. but sexual pleasure is part of the game, and you can act like you got the love without the name. It don't have to be Gucci or Louis, but yo, you like what you like, so yo, sue me. Yo, who me? You ain't always wrong, but yo, you gotta do what you gotta do. Pull the thong to the side, you take it off all the way. Yo, she don't like that shit. You gotta go to okay. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night. We will be back tomorrow night. We will be back tomorrow night. So make sure y'all come through 2 a.m. in the morning. Y'all know how we do. I'm sorry, y'all. My allergies acting up. Tired in the motherfucking. Y'all know how it is. At the end of the show, you either going to work or going to bed. I'm going with the latter. But I want to thank all y'all for coming through. Hit the like button, y'all. Share the show. Subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I appreciate that. The results of the poll: 32 votes. How much time should pass before sex can be discussed between people who are interested in each other? 12% says ASAP, maybe on the first phone call. 12%, another 12% says at least a few weeks of dating. 56%, the lion's share, says whenever they both feel comfortable, and 19% says never, just let it happen. You know what I mean? Enough people start participating. You start seeing something. You start seeing a little something. Yo, y'all have a good night. Yo, be safe, be love, be everything, be all of above. Peace, y'all.